Block 1. Defining contemporary coastal art. When we think of maritime art, our minds often drift to a specific, romanticized past. We picture grand oil paintings of towering clipper ships battling tempestuous waves, serene watercolors of quiet fishing harbors at dawn, or meticulous scrimshaw carved into whalebone. These works, while historically significant and beautiful, capture a relationship with the sea that is largely one of conquest, commerce, or picturesque scenery. But what happens when that relationship becomes infinitely more complex, fraught with new anxieties, and illuminated by new technologies? This is the fertile ground from which contemporary coastal art springs. It's an art form that has broken free from the gilded frames of tradition to engage with the coast not as a static landscape, but as a living, breathing, and often wounded entity. The contemporary coastal artist is less a documentarian of ships and more a translator of the ocean's modern language, a language of rising tides, plastic gyres, and resilient communities clinging to their heritage. The evolution is profound. It's a shift from observation to participation, from depiction to dialogue. The canvas is no longer just a canvas. It might be a stretch of sand at low tide, a digital screen displaying real-time oceanographic data, or a sculpture built from the very debris threatening its subject. At the heart of this transformation is a radical expansion of materials and mediums. The contemporary artist's toolkit is as vast and unpredictable as the ocean itself. While paint and clay still have their place, many creators now turn to materials that carry an intrinsic story of the sea. Artists are forging powerful new narratives using reclaimed ocean plastics, ghost nets, and weathered driftwood. Each piece of faded polypropylene rope or sun-bleached bottle cap is a relic, a testament to our consumer culture's long reach. When woven into a sculpture or assembled into a mosaic, these materials don't just form an image, they confront the viewer with a physical piece of the problem. This isn't just art about pollution, it's art made from pollution, a powerful act of transformation that turns waste into a wake-up call. Beyond found objects, some artists are pushing the boundaries into the realm of bioart, collaborating with marine biologists to incorporate living elements like bioluminescent algae or salt crystals, creating ephemeral works that grow and change, mirroring the ceaseless dynamism of the coastal ecosystem itself. This material innovation is paralleled by an embrace of new technologies. Digital media has opened up entirely new ways to explore and represent the marine world. Imagine walking along a dark cliff face at night, only to see it illuminated with projected animations of extinct marine creatures, a ghostly reminder of what we have lost. Artists are using drone photography to capture breathtaking, abstract patterns of tidal estuaries that are invisible from the ground, revealing the planet's own artistry. Virtual and augmented reality are being used to create immersive underwater experiences, allowing audiences to swim through a vibrant coral reef or witness the devastating effects of coral bleaching firsthand, all from within a gallery space. Sound art is another burgeoning field, with creators using hydrophones to record the complex soundscapes of the ocean, the clicks of dolphins, the groan of melting glaciers, the deafening roar of shipping lanes, and weaving them into compositions that are both haunting and beautiful. These technologies allow for a multi-sensory engagement, moving beyond the purely visual to create a deeper, more visceral connection to the marine environment. Perhaps the most radical departure from traditional maritime art is the rise of performance and ephemeral installations. For these artists, the coast is not just a subject, but a collaborator and a stage. A performance piece might involve an artist methodically cleaning a small patch of oil-stained beach for hours, a quiet, meditative act of futility and hope that speaks volumes about individual responsibility. Others might create intricate sand sculptures or arrangements of stones below the high tide line, works of art that exist for only a few hours before being reclaimed by the sea. These transient works are a powerful metaphor for the cycles of nature, loss, and the impermanence of our own impact. This art cannot be bought, sold, or hung in a museum. Its value lies in the experience and the memory, forcing us to be present and to contemplate our relationship with a world that is in constant flux. It's a direct challenge to the commercialism of the art world and a profound statement about living in harmony with natural forces rather than trying to dominate them. This art is a vital dialogue, a conversation between the artist, the environment, and the community. It asks questions rather than providing easy answers. It reflects the anxieties of living in the Anthropocene while simultaneously celebrating the enduring beauty and resilience of our planet's coastlines. It's through this multifaceted, innovative, and deeply engaged approach that we begin to understand the true scope of contemporary coastal art, setting the stage for the incredible creators who are giving this movement its voice. Block 2. Voices from the Coast: Artists and Their Mediums. To truly grasp the power of contemporary coastal art, we must move from the abstract to the specific and meet the artists who are shaping this dynamic field. These are individuals whose lives are inextricably linked to the sea, whose creative processes are dictated by the rhythm of the tides and the character of their local shores. They are not simply observers, they are participants, channeling their deep personal connections into their work. Let's first imagine a painter, Elena, living in a small, windswept cottage perched on the cliffs of the North Atlantic. Her studio is less a room and more a vessel, with a vast picture window that frames a constantly shifting panorama of sea and sky. Elena doesn't paint idyllic seascapes. Instead, she seeks to capture the intangible, the weight of fog descending upon the water, the fleeting, violent splash of a wave against rock, the ethereal quality of light breaking through a storm cloud. Her technique is raw and energetic. She applies paint not just with brushes, but with palette knives, her hands, and even pieces of driftwood, building up thick layers of impasto that mimic the texture of seafoam and barnacled rock. Her canvases are not just representations of the coast, they are emotional weather maps, charting her own internal response to the raw, untamable power of the ocean. Her connection is ancestral. Her grandfather was a lighthouse keeper on the same stretch of coast, and she speaks of her work as a continuation of his vigil, a way of watching, listening, and translating the ocean's moods for a world that has largely forgotten how to listen. Now, let's journey to a different coastline, a sun-drenched Pacific shore, littered not just with shells, but with the plastic detritus of a globalized world. Here, we find a sculptor named Simon. He doesn't work with marble or bronze. His quarry is the high tide line. Every morning, he walks the beach with large burlap sacks, a modern-day beachcomber on a mission. He collects what the ocean discards: tangled masses of fishing nets, faded buoys, shattered plastic crates, and thousands of bottle caps. Back in his open-air workshop, he meticulously sorts his findings by color, shape, and type. This act of sorting is itself a part of his artistic process, a meditation on the sheer volume and variety of our waste. From this palette of pollution, he constructs towering, totemic sculptures that are both beautiful and horrifying. An albatross with a belly full of plastic fragments, a massive wave cresting with 1,000 disposable lighters, a delicate jellyfish formed from translucent plastic bags. His work is a stark, unavoidable confrontation. He transforms these found objects, items we use and discard without a second thought, into powerful statements on marine ecology and consumer culture. His personal connection stems from his past as a commercial fisherman, where he witnessed firsthand the growing tide of plastic in the ocean. He often says, "I'm not creating monsters, I'm just showing you the ones we've already made," a chilling summary of how his art serves as both a mirror and a warning. His sculptures are not just displayed in galleries. They are often installed back on the beaches where their components were found, forcing a direct dialogue between the art and its source. Finally, we turn our lens to a photographer, Maria, who works in the bustling, tight-knit communities of a historic fishing harbor. Her medium is not about the grand, sweeping vistas of the ocean, but the intimate, often overlooked human stories that unfold at its edge. Armed with a vintage black-and-white film camera, she focuses on the quiet moments of human interaction with the sea. Her subjects are the people whose lives are governed by the water, the weathered hands of a fisherman mending his nets, the determined face of a scientist taking water samples, the joyful abandon of children leaping from a pier into the cold water below. Her photographs are deeply personal and respectful, capturing a sense of dignity and resilience. She spends months, sometimes years, within a single community, building trust and becoming a part of the fabric of daily life before she ever raises her camera. This deep immersion allows her to capture an authenticity that is rare and powerful. Her work documents a way of life that is rapidly changing due to economic pressures and environmental shifts. Each portrait, each candid shot of life on the docks becomes a vital piece of cultural preservation. Her black and white images strip away the romantic color of the seaside to reveal the grit, grace, and soul of the community. For Maria, the ocean is the backdrop, but the real story is the symbiotic and often challenging relationship between humanity and the sea. Through these distinct voices, the painter of moods, the sculptor of warnings, and the photographer of souls, we see the incredible diversity of contemporary coastal art. They show us that this art is not a monolithic genre, but a vibrant ecosystem of creative expression, each artist offering a unique perspective on what it means to live by the sea today, a perspective that inevitably pushes their work beyond the gallery and into the wider world of social and environmental discourse. Block 3. Art, Environment, and Community, A New Horizon. The painter's swirling canvases, the sculptor's plastic totems, and the photographer's poignant portraits are more than just aesthetically compelling objects. They are catalysts for change. The true power of contemporary coastal art lies in its ability to transcend the gallery walls and become an active force within society. This art is at the forefront of a crucial cultural shift, moving from passive appreciation of nature to active engagement with its most pressing challenges. These artists are not just commentators, they are advocates, educators, and community organizers, using their creative platforms to spark vital conversations that science and policy papers often struggle to ignite. When a community gathers to witness the installation of a sculpture made from their own town's collected beach trash, the issue of pollution becomes immediate, personal, and undeniable. It's no longer a distant news story about a garbage patch in the Pacific. It's right here, on our shore, transformed into something that demands our attention. This is art as activism, a visual language that can communicate complex environmental issues like climate change, overfishing, and habitat loss with an emotional resonance that pure data can never achieve. It makes the invisible visible, whether it's the slow, insidious creep of sea level rise represented in a land art installation, or the devastating impact of ghost nets made tangible in a haunting sculpture. This role as a conversational catalyst extends deeply into cultural preservation and community engagement. In many maritime communities, traditional ways of life are under threat from globalization, economic shifts, and environmental degradation. The art that emerges from these places often serves as a powerful archive of cultural memory. The photographer documenting the last generation of traditional boat builders, or the painter capturing the specific light of a beloved local cove, is engaged in an act of preservation. Their work honors the heritage and strengthens the identity of the community, providing a touchstone for future generations. This art becomes a rallying point, fostering a sense of shared identity and collective resilience. Exhibitions often become community events, bringing together fishers, scientists, activists, and families to share stories and discuss the future of their home. Artists frequently collaborate directly with schools, leading workshops where children create their own art from found objects, fostering a new generation of environmental stewards who understand from a young age the profound connection between their community and the health of the ocean. This collaborative spirit is key. The art isn't just for the community, it's often by and with the community, breaking down the traditional barrier between the artist and the audience. Looking ahead, the horizon for contemporary coastal art is bright and full of innovation. We are seeing a rise in interdisciplinary collaborations, where artists are working hand in hand with marine biologists, oceanographers, and climate scientists. This fusion of art and science is producing groundbreaking work. Imagine data visualizations of ocean acidification levels transformed into stunning, immersive light installations, or bioartists working with scientists to develop sculptures that can double as artificial coral reefs, creating new habitats while also serving as public art. The potential for technology to deepen our connection to the marine world is also expanding. We might see more live-streamed underwater art projects or augmented reality apps that allow viewers to see the historical and ecological stories of a coastline layered over their real-world view. As global awareness of environmental issues grows, so too does the recognition of this vital art form. International biennials and festivals dedicated to ocean-themed art are gaining prominence, creating a global platform for these coastal voices to be heard. This art is no longer a niche genre, but a critical part of a global conversation about our planet's future. Ultimately, contemporary coastal art does more than just reflect our current relationship with the sea. It actively seeks to shape it. It challenges us to look closer, think deeper, and act more thoughtfully. It reminds us that the ocean is not a limitless resource or a pretty backdrop, but a complex, vital, and fragile system to which we are all connected. Through their passion, ingenuity, and profound connection to place, these artists are not just creating beauty, they are charting a course towards a more sustainable and empathetic future, one powerful work of art at a time.